Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Well, some clouds in the distance. Stay away. One more game today. Team Kilfoyle and Team Lorenz, the second of our doubleheader. We can only hope that it has as much drama in store as game one today between Team Palacios and Team Faremo. That game took 8 innings, and it came down to the first batter in the bottom of the 8th. Megan Faremo had retired 13 straight. Wiggins on second, and Morgan Circle, the hero, slaps it into center field to walk it off for Team Palacios. Sachel now 4-0 in her career. She'll be 5-0 in her career as a captain. She's piling up the wins too fast for me to count, and she is also piling up the leaderboard points. She is in first place on the leaderboard ahead of Amanda Lorenz and her teammate Tori Vidalis. Faremo, it's just another heartbreaking loss for her. She's still in fourth, though, has a good chance to pick her own team again heading into week 5, but this is anybody's game right now. You see their name on that screen. They've got a good chance alongside the former 2-time National Player of the Year, Danielle Laurie. I'm Chucky Kempf. Sachel Palacios, she's just found the right mixture this week.
Yeah, they're gelling well. She's making good coaching decisions, and I think clutch hitting is key, and you saw that they were not able to do that with Team Faremo, to be able to step up with that runner on second base and get action going, but the captain behind the plate to lay out for the bunt, like all the little things are starting to add up for Sachel, and kind of this storybook feel retirement piece for her.
Yeah, Team Lorenz led by Amanda Lorenz, also one that's going to be really tough to beat for Lexi Kilfoyle and company. Her first pick was Skylar Wallace, proved she was worth it last night.
Well, I mean, Skylar Wallace, to me, is one of the hottest rookies that was coming into Athletes Unlimited. Not only for what she was able to do at Florida, but she just adds such value. Her speed, her pop, her power, and more importantly, she plays a mean shortstop, and she's versatile. You can put her anywhere on the infield, and she is going to just give you everything she has. So I can appreciate that she was that first-round pick, and she's shown up big and helped them out tremendously.
In the 2 spot behind the other speedster lefty, Sydney McKinney, Bubba Nichols, a lot of pop there in the 3-hole. Bailey Klingler is swinging a really good bat in the cleanup spot right now in the lineup for Team Kilfoyle, looking to put together another good performance. They had 14 hits yesterday, but they left 11 on base. It's just the situational hitting. They can come through in that department. They'll face off with the veteran Alicia Ocasio, the 2021 champion of the Athletes Unlimited Championship season. She's from Florida. She played her college ball at Florida, and she's back, Danielle. This is the Alicia Ocasio that we have come to expect.
Well, and I like that she's getting to start games. I think she's someone that I can appreciate, who sets the tone really well, and a lot of different pitches in her arsenal. But I think, to me, it's just when she's able to change speeds at any point, any time in the count, it's when you know she is on and feeling good.
She had a sub-3 ERA last championship season. Those were her best numbers since 2021 when she won it. She went with Puerto Rico to the World Cup in Italy this summer, was really good there. A 2.47 ERA, 13 strikeouts and 17 innings pitched. She also gets to hit with Puerto Rico, which we'll see her hit a little bit in Athletes Unlimited, definitely when she is a captain. She's got a chance. She's in 14th place right now. She'd need to climb 10 spots into the top 4, but a good pitching performance usually comes with MVP honors. Most times comes with a win. Not in the case of Megan Faremo today, unfortunately for her, but Faremo's still able to pick up 20 MVP points. She got MVP 3. And we are ready for game 2. Ocasio's first pitch. That's how you want to start. Ground out to third base to retire Sid McKinney.
When you even look at yesterday and the performance by Georgina Korik and how it earned her those 240 points, which she led all of yesterday with the points. So it just goes to show pitchers can earn it by getting outs. Every out recorded is going to be that +4, but those earned runs is where you can get yourself in trouble. It's -10. Every earned run you give up.
Wallace swinging at the 1-0 pitch, fouls it off. Skylar yesterday, 3 for 4, a 2-run home run, scored twice. That is a tough spot to fill in Gainesville, losing Skylar Wallace. And Tim Walton's done it for years and years. They'll find the next superstar, but man, she is going to be really hard to replace.
Well, they did get someone from Washington for a year. Riley Holtorf, the shortstop for the University of Washington, transferred, and they picked her up. I think that's huge with the year that she was able to have at UW, and just her in the shortstop position. She's great. So that, to me, is a huge pickup for the Gators. I mean, like you say, it's very tough to replace someone like Skylar Wallace, but Holtorf is the real deal as well. Sad to see her leave, of course, but I love me some Tim Walton.
Florida just reloading. They've got a lot coming back, too, off of that runner-up team. Wallace goes up the middle. I should say runner-up. They fell in the semis, but so close to knocking off Oklahoma. Hit number 4 for Wallace in the first inning of Game 2 this weekend. Skylar has stolen a couple bases. Hasn't been caught yet. See how aggressive she is. She's got the oven mitts on.
The flare's on point.
Was that wasn't around yet when you were playing, was it? No, that's kind of in the last probably 5 years.
We didn't even have Evo shields.
Well, were you going to tell me next that your catcher didn't have gear either?
No, and we didn't use a white ball, if you're wondering.
Not a call. You were a couple years after that. Flippin does not go to second. Instead takes care of Nichols going to first. 2 outs. Now Klingler, 6 hits in Series 3. 2 hits yesterday and drove in a run. Excuse me, 3 hits yesterday, drove in 2 runs. We were talking yesterday about Bailey Klingler and kind of back to what you expect. If you followed her in college, just all-world hitter. What was it when you watched her closely at Washington that stood out?
Man, she was one of the toughest outs in the nation. She doesn't strike out, but it was her plate coverage in the college game that I think really stood out to me. She could hit a ball 2 balls off the plate and do damage with it, with a lot of pressure that was on her shoulders to help get that team back to Oklahoma City.
Hit up into the wind, but Hayward's there, 3 outs. Good clean inning there for Alicia Ocasio. Just a single sprinkled in and a 0. Doing in the top of the first for Team Kilfoyle. So Team Lorenz, who struck first early last night in their win over Team Faremo, coming to the plate here with an opportunity to pick up early win points. It was Delaney Wiz who did it last night right out of the gates.
Yeah, this was so clutch for Team Lorenz, and you could tell it just kind of got the party started for that group who's been gelling and meshing together so well. That earned her some big MVP points, and
the 3 spot for Delaney. Her first home run of the season last night. She's behind Amanda Lorenz and Sydney Romero. Flippin, Stuart Hunter, Harshman behind her. When Svekis gets the start behind the dish today. And then a couple of veterans in Piancastelli and Hayward down there with Svekis. They will face off with a rookie out of UCF, Sarah Willis. This is start number 1 for her. Just her 4th appearance. She's 1-0 with a 2.10 ERA. The main issue for Willis, the only issue really, she's been solid when she's thrown, but 7 walks in 6 2/3.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's just being able to eliminate those base on balls. And maybe her not having the opportunity to start, this is great for her. Some pitchers have a tough time, especially being rookies coming in when their role hasn't been a closer, right? They've been used to creating that momentum themselves, starting games, what that adrenaline feels like. Coming into games can be completely different with the game on the line.
Sarah Willis, love how she warms up. Every inning she comes out, first pitch, overhand. And she said that started when she was at Washington. JT D'Amico, who was an assistant coach at the time, joked with her like, hey, you should throw an overhand pitch when you go out there. And ever since then, that's what she's done. McKinney wasn't there at first. Her and Skaggs trying to figure things out now, and Lorenz has an infield single.
Well, and you also have to think, Allie Skaggs doesn't normally play first base. Listen, this is second base's ball all day. As a first baseman, you can't get off the bag that far. Knowing the speed of Lorenz, you gotta let that ball go to McKinney, and you gotta get to first.
Skaggs, an elite defensive second baseman at Arizona when she was there. Former Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. That puts Lorenz aboard for Sydney Romero. Good location from Willis right there. Jumps ahead 0-2. Just one of those outs too. If you're Sarah Willis, to settle into this game, that one could really hurt you if it ends up being a run. Ground ball right side, chance for two. Quick throw, Wallace back to first. Not in time.
It's a pretty good hot shot by Sid Romero off the bat. For Allie Skaggs, makes the throw over to Skylar Wallace. Sid Romero has some good speed. Love the quick thinking. Oof, that was close.
Well, now just one on for Delaney Wiz. Similar situation to what she came up in yesterday. It was Lorenz who was on. This time Romero, one out. We're seeing a lot of that changeup early on.
But that's the pitch that, regardless, even as a hitter, if you know that pitch is coming, it's a really tough pitch just based on how different the velocity from her hard to her soft is. You're looking at 15 to 20 miles an hour difference. Sometimes it doesn't even register, but when you can go back-to-back changeups, that's what opens up her curveball on the outer half. But what I've seen in the past is just Sarah Willis not able to get ahead with that pitch, and then you can tell she's kind of forcing it. But right out of the gate, looking good with establishing that changeup for strikes, getting ahead of hitters, and being able to go to her hard stuff.
First pitch outside to Hannah Flippen. Dangerous bat to get hot. Flippen had 2 hits yesterday. Flippen, one who just kind of burst onto the pro scene and quickly, I think, and quietly to an extent, everyone started saying, hey, she's one of the best we've got right now in the league. That was years ago when she was playing in the NPF, and that continues now, a staple for Team USA this summer. Two-one from Willis. Interesting. Flippen thinking she can lay something down right there, but strike 2. Willis trying to match a 0 from Alicia Ocasio in the top half. Flippen just fights it away.
And now's when you can start to get in your head a little bit as a hitter, like, okay, she's threw hard there. We've seen her go back-to-back hard pitches. Is she coming at me with the changeup? And at times when you're facing a pitcher that throws a changeup 2 to 3 times per AB, it's okay to guess if you guess right.
There it was. Flippen does stay with it. pesky hitters when that comes to mind? Who would be one that you faced at top of your head?
In my college days, which I don't know if a lot of these women know her, but Caitlin Cochran with Arizona State, man, she was one of the toughest that I got to face.
Willis wins the battle with Flippin. And we've got rollover points already. Zeros in the first, 20 on the line when we come back. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Oh, big day yesterday for Sam Fisher, that 3-run home run. Team Lorenz also winners last night, hoping to be 2-0 as well. We'd have two teams at 2-0 this weekend if Team Lorenz can win today. Zeros in the first, so 20 inning win points on the line in the second. Team Kilfoyle and Team Lorenz finishing off day 2 of week 4. Well, part of Athletes Unlimited, it's all about the players. They make the decisions. This is the big group, the Player Executive Committee on the softball side of things. Sierra Romero, Andrea Filler, Megan Faramo, Sis Bates, and then the chairperson, who is Sam Fisher, longtime veteran. It's her second year. We've got Sam. She is our star in the stand. She's down there signing autographs. She's hanging out. All right, Sam, we don't ever really get the inside scoop on the PEC, but you as the chairperson, why are you the chairperson? What makes you different?
I guess I just talk to Sherry a lot more. Sherry calls me, I call her. It's like a routine. But no, the PEC it's something that really, is different than anything I've ever done in my softball career. And when I first got on it in 2020, it was like, wait, they care about what I say. They want to know. They're listening. So it's been a really cool experience being on it. And now being the chairperson, it's fun. And I especially love talking to Sherry about 30 times a week.
What does that look like with you retiring? Does someone else enter that role? Are you still going to have a pretty big role with the softball stuff?
Ideally, I would love to stay involved with softball, but the P being player and player executive committee, once I retire, I'm going to roll off of it. And then there's going to be spots open for whoever else wants to come on and whoever's going to take over the chair spot. So I'm curious and I'm excited to see who wants to step into those roles and take it from here.
How long have you been sitting on the information of the launch of the new league, the AUSL?
Let me tell you something. You guys, my hair is so big because it's full of secrets. They told us about 6 weeks, but nice ball, Kaylee.
Ooh, extra bases for Kaylee Hardy.
Oh, triple.
Oh, she's not going. Ooh. That was scary. They told us about 6 weeks before they told the company, and then they told the company about a month and a half before it was released. So I knew it for a while. I didn't even tell my parents. They said, hey, this is confidential, don't tell anybody. And I said, okay, I'm not telling anybody.
What about your husband, no?
I whispered it to him because at first I said, Kevin, oh my God, like there's this opportunity. Should I just not retire? And then about 5 minutes passed and we're like, no, we're still gonna retire.
Sam, the day that you were able to have yesterday, knowing every at-bat that you have is one closer to you hanging it up for good, is a day like yesterday kind of emotional with how that day went down for you?
Yeah, you know what it is? And I feel like a day like that always feels that way for me because it's so tough here. It's so competitive. Everybody's so good. So that kind of day feels really special anytime it happens, whether it's in season 1 or in the last season. And, coming through for my team, I think is where the emotion comes from, is knowing that when I'm in the box, they believe in me and they trust that I can come through for a victory. So yeah, it felt extra special.
How much different is the league? Like, obviously the talent's always been there, but from year 1 when you were here in 2020 to this point, how much growth have you seen? What's different about it?
Honestly, I feel really proud of this 60 here. I think this is the strongest and the deepest 60 that we've had, and you're seeing that because every single person is getting in every single game. So I love to see that. I think the talent that we have is just really well-rounded and really complete. So just kind of, going from the beginning where we were kind of, we didn't have any rookies and it was COVID, to now it's just so cool to see the success of all these really good players, and I think that really is a testament to the growth of the game in general.
What excites you the most about this AUSL that's going to kick off next season?
I feel like we're going to find that players are going to just be players. I think there's going to be the opportunity to just be a softball player in the States instead of the girls who have to go to Japan and come back, because they're a softball player full-time, but being in the States, being home full-time. I think that's what I'm most excited to see, is because, DL, like, it's a grind. It's a grind, keeping up with it. And, you know, I can think of, I have 4 jobs. Like, that's a lot. You know, so just seeing that growth and kind of taking the load off of these players so they can just worry about being players.
Okay, we just had Alicia Ocasio strike out Caroline Jacobson. You've seen Alicia forever. She won it in 2020.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like she's getting back into the groove right now. What makes her so good?
She looks awesome, and I think that changeup is a huge thing for her to be effective, because that thing drops off the table. She throws a really good heavy drop ball, and her changeup also goes in that same manner. But when she has that just heavy drop ball working with that also dropping changeup, it's really hard to touch her with the difference in speeds. But she's commanding her pitches so well, and I like to see it when I'm with her, not so much, you know, on the other side of it. But I love to see her do well like this.
Well, and on the flip side, Sarah Willis is getting the ball today. She's yet to start a game. Her tempo looks way better today. When you're going up against someone that throws 70, but a changeup that's 20 miles an hour less, how do you approach that as a hitter? Like, what would be your game plan going up against her?
It's funny because I am the player who, if I go in with an approach, the complete opposite is going to happen. So I'm very reactionary. Like, when it comes to somebody like Sarah, it's just, I think, like, I'm going to react to the fast, and then I'm going to sit on the changeup when I see it, because I'd like to think that because it is such a drastic difference, I might have time to, like, lose it a little bit and then just poke something. So not trying to pick one, because as soon as I say I'm sitting changeup, she won't throw any. And as soon as I say I'm sitting hard, she'll only throw changeups. So.
Gwen Savekis being checked on right now behind the plate. Took a foul ball off the hand, and she looks all right. Take a look at this real quick. Oh. That was like line shot in the air. Sam, have you ever caught?
I would beg when I was younger to catch. I just wanted to be in every single play. I just wanted to be involved all the time. And so I think I just, like, wore my coaches down, but, you know, from begging, like, let me catch, let me catch, let me catch. And they finally put me in there. And I can remember, you know, like, the throwdown at the you know, in the middle of the innings, just sailing it into center field. And they're like, yeah, no, I think you got to get out of here.
All right, Sam, you got 4 games left. I mean, let's start, you know, leveraging something with these captains and get you behind the plate for at least an out or 2.
I know. Could you imagine? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll check back in a bit, Sam.
I'll be
Thank
here.
you. Sam Fisher, one of the best human beings you will ever be around. Our star in the stands today. 4 games left in her softball career. And Alicia Ocasio back-to-back strikeouts. Now this from Jordan Rudd-Lee on the ground. Leadoff double by Kaylee Harding. And Harding stays put at second. Strikeouts and a ground out for Ocasio. Team Lorenz looking for a run here in the bottom of the second to collect 20-inning win points that are on the line. Still zeros here early in this second game today. Get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprosoftball.com. Second inning of work for Sarah Willis. One of the things we talked about, had some walk issues at times, but through 17 pitches in the first inning, 14 strikes.
Like I said, being able to start a game allows for you to set the tone for what you've only ever really known, right? Coming out of college.
Right back to her. Fields her position. Whoa, but he threw it into right field. Such great reactions in the circle. And then didn't need to be that quick. Amanda Lorenz reached on an awkward play to the right side of the infield. Now they give a base runner up here to start the second.
Well, and she had all the time in the world, no doubt about it. I think you can ease up a little bit on the throw. You see Kelsey Stewart-Hunter making contact, knowing she'll get that obstruction call, which will allow for her to get to second base. I think that's key.
It's just a veteran move. That's a mom of 2 move right there. Harshman ahead 1-0 in the count. Willis catches the outside corner for strike one. Shows bunt, lets it go outside. Kelsey Harshman, you played with her with Team Canada. What stood out to you when you played with her?
She was like my favorite. We used to do pre-inning hugs when I'm out there. She just was like calm, cool, and collected, but I think more importantly, she made me laugh. And when you feel pressure, that's big to be able to have that. So she was always someone that, like, as a pitcher that I was looking to make eye contact, to be like, okay, yep, you're good, you're good. And I don't know, I just like felt connected to her that way defensively.
(3-1) shows bunt, fouls it straight back for strike two. Full count now. She was on that Olympic team for Canada, but she was cut before that, right?
She was. The year before, the Olympic qualifier year. She was there for the Olympic qualifier, but she was cut for the Worlds, or the Pan American Games when we were in Peru. She didn't make that roster, so yeah, that would open up the fresh wounds. I remember that like it was yesterday, because we don't get to have any say. This is no Athletes Unlimited with the national team. You don't get to pick your teams. You don't get to say who you want.
One ended up being a big piece of that bronze medal team and was at the World Cup this summer, hit 300, 3 extra base hits in that. Her mom played at Wichita State and for the Canadian national team. Her Aunt Jody was a member of the Canadian national softball and soccer team. And that is why Kelsey changed her number to 10 for her soccer days when she was a player. She's on first and second now with nobody out. Let's check in with Savannah.
Well, when you have a pitcher as a captain like Lexi Kilfoyle, she can call her own number when it comes to getting the start. But today, the confidence was all in Sarah Willis. She talked about what she sees from her throughout the week. She says she's this huge competitor. How could I not give her the chance? She's the type of athlete who wants the ball in her hand in these type situations. She liked that it was going to give everybody a fresh look. And because Willis has come in relief and sometimes as a closer this season, she hasn't really been given the opportunity to set the tone herself. And like you were starting to get into, Danielle, it can make a huge difference. We're seeing it so far from Willis right now. Having the start and really being able to be in control from the first pitch of the game can make a difference.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially that's what you've been used to collegiately.
Ground ball would love a pair here. Wallace goes to first instead.
I don't know why we're not trying to roll up two there. Maybe the timing was off, but the slow roller, I mean, that's a double play all day.
Now two in scoring position for the power hitter, Pian Castelli. There's the changeup to start her off with strike one. And then the heat on the outside corner. A big difference between pitch 1 and 2 there. This is a big at bat for Pian Castelli. Change up. Pian Castelli sits on it out in the right field. Harding makes the catch. Throw coming home is not going to be in time. Stuart Hunter scores. They're up 1-0, and they've got 20 inning win points as well.
This is a good job by Pian Castelli to be on time, to just hit it to the outfield, knowing that if I can get something, a big fly somewhere, there's runs that will be able to score, and that's huge. Not completely fooled at all by the changeup, but
Hayward lays down the bunt, throw to first. Nice job by McKinney to get over there quickly, and they retire Vic Hayward. A 1-0 Team Lorenz, though. It's a big 20-inning win points for everybody on that team. Well, started off the day with a lot of excitement. Morgan Zirkle in the bottom of the 8th. First batter to come to the plate. Megan Wiggins on second base. And after Megan Faremo retired 13 straight, Zirkle brings Wiggins around to walk it off on the RBI single.
But I love the communication that she had with her teammates. Hey, it makes more sense for me to be able to use that soft slap because I don't feel like I can bunt Faremo's up pitches. So to be able to be in command of that and verbalize that to your teammates, especially the captain, because you assume that's a bunt situation all day. But it comes down to barrel control and knowing yourself in the moment, and that was clutch.
The Game 1 MVP is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Zirkle ends up #1 on that list. 60 points for her. Vidalis and Faremo. I think Megan Faremo rightfully so, getting that third one. And then Sachel Palacios picking up 20 more points as the defensive MVP. She made that great catch in the top of the 8th on the bunt pop-up. First pitch swinging for Kowalik. She lines out to left field. 4 straight retired for Ocasio and 6 of the last 7. Palacios on top. Lorenz behind her by just 34 points. Tori Vidalis is up there in the top 3. And Megan Faremo in the 4th spot. But I'll tell you what, Danielle, Team Lorenz, they can have some names jump up there. Coric can definitely get up there, especially if we see her throw tomorrow. Yep. But, man, Sachel Palacios and company, they keep winning. You're going to end up with at least 2, maybe 3, 4 orange names up there. Season to remember for Sachel Palacios in her final year as a pro. She will still be locked into the league, I would imagine, with Charlize just beginning her professional career. Checking on something here, maybe a hit by pitch. McKinney didn't try to take first. Umpires talking things over, though, to try and make sure they got this one right. Naomi Erdahl, Don Brown, and Cameron Ellison, our umpiring crew.
Yeah, barrel.
No argument from McKinney because she wanted to do that. A 1-out single up the middle.
Couple Gators going at it.
Now Lorenz, the captain in left. Ocasio in the circle, facing off with Skylar Wallace. Ocasio helped lead Florida to the 2nd of back-to-back national championships when she was a freshman in 2015. They will try and roll a pair to get Wallace. Got to be quick.
Dang.
Man, Ocasio flipping Stewart Hunter. Another Gator at first.
This is what I'm talking about with trying to roll the double play, even knowing Wallace has speed up the line. Man, that was close.
Skylar Wallace has ever been doubled up in her playing career, but that's how the 3rd inning ended, and Ocasio started it. Connected with Flippin, and then it finished off with the other Gator, Kelsey Stewart Hunter, at first base. Team Lorenz up 1. The AU Pro Shop is excited to announce that select Nike softball player jerseys are available for purchase this season. This limited edition style designed with fans in mind won't last long. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. I saw a Danielle Laurie jersey yesterday.
Oh, you did. Not ones that they're selling in the team shop, but wouldn't that be something? Maybe.
We got to work on that, yeah.
That was Marcus wearing my jersey yesterday. He is, I'm not sure if he's watching, but Marcus, hello. He's a loyal fan of Athletes Unlimited, cheers these women on hard.
Team Lorenz coming back to the plate, a 1-run lead. Good start for Sarah Willis so far. The 1 run she gave up in the 2nd was unearned, and it was off of her own miscue. Did a nice job fielding a hard ground ball by Kelsey Stewart Hunter, but threw it into right field. And now the big bats coming back to the plate. Amanda Lorenz, Sydney Romero, Delaney Wiz. 1, 2, 3 due up for this team in the bottom of the third. Amanda Lorenz's best finish was 9th in the championship season in 2022. She's always been one of those players that's high on the draft board. This is how she's done it. A lot of winning, 870 win points. She's had her fair share of stat points and MVP picks as well. Headed for her best ever finish. She got married in December. Her husband Griffin, an assistant coach with the Clemson baseball program. Traded one orange for another. Yeah, Florida to Clemson for her. Willis catches the outside corner, but Lorenz has long been one of, I mean, even coming out of college, there was just no doubt that she was going to translate to the professional game and be one of the elite hitters.
Sarah Willis would be someone where I talked to you about like Alyssa Denham. She's a max effort pitcher. You see how hard she has to work her body to throw hard in the best way, especially when she owns that outer half. She's just power through it, uses the ground to create that power through. And I love pitching because I always feel like there's just not one way to do it. There's so many different body types that could be successful. You can be 5'6" and throw 70 plus. You can be 6 foot.
When did you start to think, okay, yeah, I'm pretty good at this? What age did you feel like it started to really click for you?
Probably like 12 or 13, I would say.
Outside full count. This is just what Amanda Lorenz does at the plate, working the count, waiting for her pitch against Willis.
Go and change.
There it is, and Lorenz was out in front. Man, you know what you're talking about.
Even if you know it's coming, it's still a really hard pitch just because the velo is so different. Your body's fooled, and you can tell. You can look at the little smile on Lorenz's face.
See what Sydney Romero can do. And Willis is bringing it. 69 miles per hour. Romero top 30 on the leaderboard right now. There's the changeup. She's out in front of it. Strike one. She's 28th, but there's just so much room to jump right now. I mean, a big base hit, you'd probably jump 5-6 spots easily. One in the dirt. What would be your conversations early in the week when you got your new team and you know who your catchers are going to be? What's your first topic with that catcher?
I mean, majority of these catchers do know what the pitchers like to throw, but I think it comes down to like a rhythm thing. When I shake, I like to go to this. Because the last thing you want to do as a pitcher is shake 2, 3, 4 times, right? Because you're just momentum and your flow's off. So it would be prior to the game, kind of having a game plan, set game plan. This is what I want to do first time through. Hey, with the lefties, we're really going to attack hard in. If I shake, it's because I want to do something like this. So it's more so communicating what you want, but you also have to be open to having those discussions during the game. So you can be on the same page prior to this, you know, week even kicking off, but every single inning touching base. Hey, where do we feel like we're at? Do you want anything changed? And you'll see the catchers initiate a lot of those conversations too, because they really make it a priority to know their pitchers through and through and how they can help them. Because if you can make your pitcher feel invincible out there, I think the team only does better and better and better.
If you shake, what pitch do you want?
It really does depend. Usually it was the changeup, but then you get teams guessing and understanding that's the rhythm. So it really honestly just depends on your gut in the moment of like, hey, this is the trends I'm seeing of the hitters. They're swinging earlier in the count. Let's go change up earlier in the count. Or based on where they're standing in the box, hey, they're really crowding the plate. I want to go in on their hands to kind of expand the zone a little bit. So depends on their in-game adjustments, especially that second time through the lineup. You'll see them make those changes of how they're going to approach you differently.
Change up through the 5-6 hole. Romero stayed with it. It's a base hit with one out.
It's a good job by Sydney Romero to go down and get this pitch. This was a 3-2 pitch. It wasn't going to be located as a strike, but feels confident enough to go and get this pitch, take it right through the 5-6 hole.
Gives Delaney Wiz something to work with here with one away. It gets away. Romero into scoring position. Two and 0. Delaney Wiz says she models her game after Lauren Chamberlain met her at the Women's College World Series in 2019. That was her starstruck moment she put on her player questionnaire. Takes strike one. Coming off her best ever finish, third in Wichita at AUX. She was 37th in the championship season last year. Currently in 19th place. There's the changeup for strike two. Back to back?
I'm in. I'm doing it. Or I'm going to go curve again. She struck her out on the curveball her last at bat.
Hit hard up the middle, but almost right at Bubba Nichols. 2 outs. It looked like Wiz knew that pitch was coming. Back to Flippin, who grounded out her first trip to the plate. And Willis trying to keep it at just 1 run through 3 innings. Change up, foul ball. They're frustrated.
I mean, I still remember that game against Auburn, 15 innings. That was in the regionals this year for NCAA. And it was Mark Neely, Carol Bruggeman on that call. It was over 5 hours. They were at 3 a.m. Eastern time at Florida State. And I'm just thinking, like, Maddie Penta, Sarah Willis both played in AUX, but they still were struggling hitting the changeup, right? Even seeing someone for 5 hours.
Would you have made it through that?
Well, I did make it through something like that. Do you not know that?
What?
The 15-inning game for UMass, or
I don't know if I knew
the
that.
year we won the national championship. We lost game 1.
Well, you're playing then. Right?
Oh, you mean broadcast?
Yeah,
I thought you meant as a pitcher.
Come on,
I thought you were calling me out.
Circle.
I don't know.
Lord.
I don't know if you.
I'm talking up here. Like, how many? We're gonna need snacks.
We're gonna need
maybe a power
some
nap.
Heavy DoorDash.
Yeah.
Heavy, or the runner is gonna be working hard for me because you think about a regionals weekend. But I thought you were calling me out pitching for a 5-hour game. I'm like, Chucky.
No, not a chance.
Yeah, I think I could have handled it.
Oh, Willis paints the corner and fools Flippin.
The hard part.
Runner.
The hard part's you only get paid for 7 innings.
There,
You don't get no extra, so I don't know.
There you are. 20-inning win points on the line as we go to the 4th inning. Team Kilfoyle down 1 to Team Lorenz. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force and Delaney Wiz.
I think I'm still going to take till I get a strike, but we're going to stick to our plans. Look at the rainbow. Look at the rainbow.
You guys, the rainbow's out.
Double play. Yes! Yes!
She's locked in over there. Usually she's at third base, but the DP role this weekend, and she knew it was a double play.
Yep. I love it. I love just hearing the little tips and tricks. Hey, I'm taking till I get a strike. Just little things like that. I didn't get to see the rainbow.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I didn't know that was the thing. Huh. Delaney having another good season. Hoping Alicia Ocasio can put up another 0. That's in foul territory. Bubba Nichols, Bailey Klingler, and Kaylee Harding coming up to the plate for Team Kilfoyle. Looking for some runs here after 14 hits yesterday. Just 3 through the first 3 innings today. This is lifted into left field at Lorenz. 1 out. Savannah, what's up?
Well, looking at this season for Alicia.
Savannah, you got us?
Yeah, looking at Alicia's season, she attributes a lot of her success to lifting heavy and honing in on her
We'll
rise
check
ball.
in with Savannah in just a second. Ocasio misses that pitch outside to Bailey Klingler, who has been red hot the last 4 games before today, hitting .642, 9 for 14 at the plate. 0 for 1 today, and shows bunt right there. Saw Romero back behind the base at third. Tried to get crafty there. Well, let's try checking with Savannah again.
Hey, now you got me. I was wanting to share a little bit about Alicia Ocasio's success this season and how she attributes it to 2 things. 1, lifting heavy, and the other is honing in on that rise ball. She says it's been the biggest factor for how she's been able to develop over the course of the season. You know, being able to step into the circle with better self-talk. And a big phrase that comes up for her is, I have done harder things. I can do this. I can handle this. You know, she spent a lot of the last couple of years rehabbing her shoulder physically, but for her, it's been about getting it to a good place mentally with what that shoulder needs. She feels like she's figured that out this season, and it's why we are seeing her tack on inning after inning and be that championship Alicia Ocasio that we know.
Well, and you saw her change her motion over the years. She used to do that big arm swing with her pitching arm all the way back, and ended up having some pretty bad shoulder pain with that. So has evolved her motion, but just the little things, lifting heavy, I'm here for it. I think there's a stigma around that at times, but more importantly, the positive self-talk, what you say to yourself, you believe, especially when you are out there. At times it can feel like you are on an island by yourself. So being able to say good, positive things. And it's the simplest things, not like I need to throw a strike. Like, hey, it could be just fixating in on something on the catcher, knowing I want to throw the curveball and looking at a spot that you're trying to hit. Instead of telling yourself I need to, we can look more at the spot we're trying to hit, kind of like force our eyes to give us that little bit of a go-ahead to execute the spot. But
she has produced it this season. This is one of her best performances we've seen in the making, possibly here in the top of the 4th. Already 2 outs. She's basically retired 8 straight. McKinney had a single, but she got the double play of Skylar Wallace. This is lifted high to left field. Lorenz going back. The wind is pushing against that ball, and it ends up a 1-2-3 inning for Alicia Ocasio and company, still leading by 1. Team Lorenz looking for 20 more inning win points, just like they did in the 2nd. They've got that opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th. It's just a 1-run game, though. 2 great contests on day 2 of week 4 of this championship season. Well, how about this? Sam Fisher getting to meet up with Aaron Judge last year. She said she saw him in the airport, so she gets this picture, which is awesome. And then this week, her and Haley McClenny got to see something pretty special, and that's where I'll bring Sam in, our star in the stands. You got to see the record breaker from Aaron Judge this week.
You know, it was funny because earlier you asked me if I got emotional about my game last night, and I totally got emotional when Aaron Judge hit that home run. I was like, wait, am I crying? It was so cool. That was the first time I got to see him play in real life. He's been my favorite player, you know, favorite current player. I love my love to Derek Jeter.
Amen. Amen.
Gosh, but he is just something special. So it was really cool. We had great seats. They were very cheap, which was excellent. And yeah, I got to see him just smash the ball, and it was so fun.
Were you nervous to ask him to take a picture at the airport?
Yes, I
Okay.
was. I saw him, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I kind of walked by at first. I said, oh my God, Sam, that's Aaron Judge. That's Aaron Judge. You know, I was in Tampa. They were just reporting for spring training. It made so much sense that that would be him. And I said, okay, get your courage together. And I walked up to him and said, Aaron, can I take a picture with you? And then whipped out the phone, took a quick selfie, and actually talked to him for a few minutes. He was awesome. Shook my hand, asked my name. We talked about Athletes Unlimited, and then I once I left, I cried. Called my dad.
Yeah.
It was like, that was just the coolest thing ever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of great hitters, how about this year? Give us like who stands out outside of yourself, of course, like top few hitters in the league to you?
Let me tell you something. Any chance I have to talk about Aubrey Leach, I'm going to take it. Aubrey is just so stinking good. She executes her plan just about every time, and you know she's lethal with her actual triple threatness. You know, she can drop a bunt, slap, or just hit it, and I love watching her execute. And she's someone who just is, I think, was already great coming out of college and just has gotten better and better. I love watching Kaylee Harding swing it. I think she's come in, even though she's a rookie, she's come in and she's had incredibly powerful at-bats, and she's someone where you know every time there's a chance that she's going to come through. So I think she's been really fun to watch also.
Well, on the flip side, for the pitching department, who would you say you tend to have a tough time facing? Someone that, you know, everyone at times has a hitter's number every now and again. Or is there someone where you're like, dang, they're tough?
Meg Framo today. Meg was really tough. Her stuff was on. It's tough to have such a great outing and have a loss, because I thought she did amazing. I went up to her after, and I told her, I was like, hey, you did a great job. She kept hitters off balance. She really attacked her spots, and we, you know, did a great job of manufacturing when we could. But Meg is tough, and I'm really excited to see her future, because it's only the beginning. And what's crazy is it feels like she's been here and she's been a pro for a long time, but this is only her second year. So and she's already this tough. So yeah, she's lights out.
Kelsey Harshman at the plate, 1 out. Before we let you go, Sam, who's going to win this thing?
Sacha Palacios. You heard it here first, people.
All right. Sam, we always appreciate the time. Good luck these last few games.
Thanks, you guys. You know where I'll be.
All right. In an airport, tracking down Aaron Judge, probably.
I don't think I could have asked him for the pick.
That's tough, man. That's like one of the stars of stars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good for her.
I wouldn't want him to think that I'm like hitting on him.
Yeah.
Like, it purely would be like, I really kind of fangirl because you are one of the best. I mean, you're not bad on the eyes, no doubt, but you know how you have to. I remember in the airport when this was back in 2009, I was flying to Texas. And did you ever watch Friday Night Lights?
Yeah.
Tim Riggins?
Yeah.
Saw him at the airport.
Wow.
It took me an hour to ask him for a picture. And I did, and we had it in common. He's from Kelowna, British Columbia. So we started talking about all the things. But yeah, that was an hour of stewing. I did it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not going to ask for a picture with Aaron Judge, because I don't want to stand next to a dude that looks like that, like
monster.
Carved from the Greek gods.
Seriously.
Sam is a superstar. She was signing autographs the whole time, chatting it up with one of the local teams in attendance, which there are many. And she's off for the day. She stuck around after her game as Harshman pops this up. Klingler has it. 2 outs. She's getting Stuart Hunter and Harshman here in the 4th. This has been a tremendous performance from Sarah Willis in her first start of the season.
Well, and maybe this is the solution, right? Like, getting to start games, she definitely settles in a lot nicer, is more spot on with her pitches. Her hard and her soft are both on today. maybe coming into games, not that she wasn't comfortable, but she just maybe couldn't find her rhythm.
First pitch swinging for Svekis. Long run, what a catch! Skylar Wallace over the shoulder. Tremendous range and just made it look easy.
I mean, and she's pulled in a little bit too. The drop step, this is such a web gem. Man, just probably one of the most freakish athletes that are here in Athletes Unlimited. Absolutely incredible. That's why she's a first-round pick for Team Kilfoyle.
I feel like every year we get asked who's gonna win, and it always ends up being a crazy tie at the end or something.
I think a rookie might win this season.
I would like to win this season as a rookie. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna go with a vet this year.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna win this season. Why not? It's about time. It's 4th season out. Just had a kid. Why not? Why not me?
I always cheer for the hitters. I really hope it's a hitter.
Me. Always. Every year, I think it's going to be me.
I think it's going to be a pitcher.
I'm going to say myself. I think I'm going to win.
Anybody can do it, so just excited to see who does it.
Well, we'll see. Next Sunday is the day. Sam Fisher said it's going to be Sachel Palacios, and Sachel would really benefit probably from Team Kilfoyle winning this game. It would keep her in first place heading into the final day of week 4. Sachel and Amanda Lorenz, they're on top right now. Certainly good picks. Vidalis, Faremo, Wiggins, Koffel, the next few in line. I'm excited for those captains. That's why I'm always excited for Sunday. Figure out who the captains are.
I would love it if it came down to next weekend and the two teams having to square off and play each other on Sunday. Have to have a good game, so the pressure of already going in knowing. But also, if Amanda Lorenz and Sachel both get the opportunities, there's a different pressure going into a game as a captain being a pitcher, knowing that you have to perform besides being a hitter.
This is smoked to deep center field and off the wall. Jacobson cruises into second base. A double for Caroline Jacobson.
Just creams this. I thought, no doubt, this was going to get over dead center. But hits the wall so close. It's a game of inches. Pretty big leadoff double for Caroline Jacobson.
Tying run on second base. 30-inning win points on the line here, and it's Sarah Willis who can help herself out. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Well, and someone that got a heavy dose of her own medicine, her previous at-bat, striking out on the changeup of Alicia Ocasio. And I'm doing that all day. I'm gonna go 3 change pieces in a row, just simply to be like, yeah, now you know.
0-2. Hard stuff up the middle. Hayward catches it. It's going to be a double play. Back-to-back balls that were just rocketed. And there's nobody on the bases now.
I don't know what's going on here. Caroline Jacobson, you gotta know that ball is gonna get down. There's no one behind you, so you're not gonna be out. But man, that really ends up hurting them.
Now Jordan Rudd-Lee at the plate trying to get it going again with 2 outs. They thought they were in business here in the 5th. Ground ball right side. It ends up being an unconventional 1-2-3 for Ocasio. 5 scoreless for Alicia. Just 1 run in the game, came back in the 2nd inning. Bianca Stelli, a sacrifice fly.
Yep, this works. This was on the changeup too. What it comes down to is that error by Sarah Willis, right? That's what put that runner in scoring position, and that's at times when you have those tight ball games, the little things can make the big difference.
Especially the way Alicia Ocasio has thrown it. It's Piancastelli, Hayward, and Lorenz coming up here in the bottom of the 5th. 30-inning win points on the line for Team Lorenz in the bottom half of this inning. Would love some insurance for Ocasio, who is dealing right now. That sacrifice fly was hit out to right field to Kaylee Harding. Nothing she could really do about it throw-wise, but we've got Kaylee mic'd up out in right field. Your first season out of Florida State. Kaylee, we know you were at Wichita too. What's this first championship season been like for you?
Honestly, a dream come true. It's really fun to... Yes! Yes, Skylar! Yes, nice, Skylar!
You cheering for a Gator out there?
It's really fun playing with Gators and Sooners and Wildcats. It's super fun to play against everyone that I've been watching and since I was like a little girl, so it's like really cool to be here.
Kaylee, you had mentioned that Ellie Cooper was someone that you had kind of looked up to or had made a difference in your life as a coach. What are a couple different things that you recall that you either learned from her or where she's kind of made that big impact?
I'm sorry, can you guys repeat the question? I'm kind of losing you guys over here.
You made the comment about Ellie Cooper being someone that impacted your life in a positive way. What are a couple different ways she has done that?
Ellie, it's actually funny because I see her out in the outfield right now. Ellie is honestly an angel to me, just working through some like mental aspects of the game that as a young girl I had no idea about. Just introducing me to visualizing and just building my confidence. And honestly, I feel like that's like the next step to being like a great ball player. So just her introducing me to those things is just awesome. And I'm forever indebted for Ellie. That's my girl.
0-2 pitch from Willis outside. Kaylee, what was the time like? It was about a month difference when you finished in Wichita to get here in Rosemont. What did you do during that month?
Oh, you know, just hang out with my family. I'm a big family girl. Just hang out with my parents and my dog back home. I went to see some friends. TBK. Just take the time off because it was a long, long college season. So definitely taking some time off. It was very much so needed.
Is there a difference for you from the AUX season to the champ season? Is there anything that stands out?
Ooh, the double headers, like, it's kind of crazy to say, but wow, like a double header in that Wichita heat was something else. Definitely grateful for one day here. Honestly thought it would be much more warmer here, but it's actually beautiful weather here. Wichita was great, but listen, it was hot. I would say like that was like the one thing that really just stands out to me. Like, granted, it was all turf, but that turf in Wichita, oh my gosh, it was so hot.
I feel like you did something in Wichita that maybe has never been done, or certainly it's got to be the only time you've ever done it. You had 9 RBIs in a game, which was a single game record, and lost. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. Great game. Granted, like, that was like one of my favorite weeks, just not even because of that game, but just that team was very special, just wrapping it all up in week 3 in Wichita. Yeah, that was definitely a tough loss. Yeah, Bubba. Yeah, Sarah, keep going, keep going.
I didn't want to open up old wounds. I just think that's like one of the craziest stats I've ever seen in that game. But what have you tried to change? Is there anything you tried to change from being in AUX to the championship season about your swing, about your approach or anything?
Honestly, not too much. I would say just taking everything with a grain of salt. Like, obviously Wichita was 3 weeks, so I mean, it was quick, but this pro season is a little longer, so if I'm in a slump, trying not to just stay there, just try and work on things. I don't think I've really changed anything about my swing. I would say, the one thing that I have kind of like taken into pro season is writing down some of like my plans in the dugout. My friend Jessie Warren introduced me to that in Wichita. She was writing down like what pitches she saw and her plan and stuff, and so I brought that here to pro season, and it's definitely helped out a lot.
Hey, Kaylee, keep it up. We're so happy you're here. Thanks for letting us tune in with you. We're just going to listen in the rest of the inning.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Yes, Sarah. Yes, Sarah.
0-1 pitch from Willis, fouled back by Romero. A little trouble here for Sarah Willis with 1 out in the 5th inning. 2 on for Sydney Romero. It was a single for Lorenz, so 10 more points for her. She's just 24 points behind Sachel Palacios. A win would jump Amanda Lorenz back into first place on the leaderboard. This is hit into right center. Long run for both outfielders down in the gap. Harding cuts it off. One run coming around. The throw from McKinney is not in time. A big insurance run as Victoria Hayward scores from second.
This is a good job. You see Sid Romero, she's standing off the plate. This is a pitch that's elevated a little bit, but man, she splits the gap so well. And this is clutch. If you're Team Lorenz, insurance is key at this point, especially as the outs are going down.
Big hitter at the plate, Delaney Wiz. Willis stays in, just 1 out. Wiz 0 for 2. Lined out to center field back in the third. Delaney fresh off that third place finish in Wichita. Here's the top 5 right now. Palacios, Lorenz, Vidalis, Faremo, Wiggins. Change up for strike 1. Coric and Ocasio in 8th and 10th. They're both on Team Lorenz. Lexi Kilfoyle is down to 9th. She is captaining her team. Wallace gonna have to go to first. And Lorenz able to come in. It's 3-0 now, Team Lorenz.
And it's just key to me, their ability to be able to manufacture runs and make stuff happen. I think when it comes down to it, the captains that are able to get their teams to do that and string together those clutch innings where things can happen are the difference maker. And that's the difference in why Team Faremo didn't win. They had some opportunities. They just were not able to get it going when they needed.
McKinney stays down on it. Flipping grounds out. So 1 left on, but 2 more runs across. It's insurance for Team Lorenz and just 2 innings to play. Let's take a look at the play of the game presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Man, she is so good at shortstop.
I feel like she's kind of just been Web Gem City. Saw this play, we saw her make another play up the middle, and those are the big time plays as a pitcher when someone's able to step up for you and make a play like that. Gosh, it just gets you going, makes you excited.
Lead though still 3. The offense got to find a way here. It's 9-1-2 coming up for Team Kilfoyle. Wallace is due up third. 3 straight lefties here. Kowalik leads things off. It's the first pitch for Kat Sandercock entering here in the 6th inning. And it misses up and away for ball 1. She threw yesterday, too, in relief. Not a save situation yesterday, but closed the door with a 4-run lead through 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, and struck out 2. This is for the single season save record, Danielle. She's got 3. She had 3 last year, so the record is hers. This is for number 4 if she goes these next 2 innings.
I just love just the confidence she brings when she comes into games. Being a closer is not for everyone. Having this, that like, being someone that comes in to just get the saves, it's not always something that you love to do, but she learned to love it at Florida State. This is just last night. See the difference in her vertical pitches going up to down with confidence. It was big for Team Lorenz last night.
What was your biggest adjustment in that closer role?
Going out there with a ton of adrenaline and learning how to deal with it. Because the majority of the times when I was going into games, it was a 0 ball game or we were up by 1. So I think it's just more so, can I control that when the heart rate's higher because it's the pressure is already supplied for you? How do I go through that? Not everyone loves those uncomfortable moments. So it's more so learning to deal with that. But that was something she had to get used to too at Florida State. Lonnie Alameda would say all the time, like, Kat has to learn how to love it because we're going to have to use her in that role. And you saw that happen. Obviously, she ended up being someone that was more of a starter a little bit as the season went on, but tough having someone like her come in at 70 miles an hour down in the zone. It's tough.
A 1 up high. Let's check in with Savannah with more on Kat Sandercock.
There's a question Coach Lonnie Alameda would ask her. It says, are you going to be the GOAT or are you going to be the hero? With the game on the line, the pitcher is going to be the one who ends up as one or the other. Hero if you get the big strikeout, GOAT if you give up the home run. She said that's what really helped her start to develop in this closer role in college, and it's only continued here as a pro, and she wants the ball in these situations. It's what Kat has really been built for from college, her rookie year, and now, like you said, Chucky, holding the record for saves and being right back in the situation today that she was in last night.
4 outs away from that 4th save this season. This player's played 15 games, 4 saves. It's a pretty big number right there. Hits the outside corner.
There's also something about being able to come into a game knowing you only have 6 outs that you need to get, right? You start a game, there's times you're like, man, I try to go 7 innings here. So to go in knowing, hey, I need to get 6 quality outs that's facing 6 hitters, give it everything you have, makes it pretty fun too. Like, I love that point because, you know, well into your 30s to throw 7 innings back to back to back, it doesn't happen like that anymore.
You can do it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. That's why I had to learn how to be the closer.
Inside, almost got Wallace 2-1. And going back to Sydney McKinney's at bat, she was just laid down a bunt, but it hit her when she was out of the box. There it is on the shoulder. That's what she was called out on. There's strike 2 with 2 away and nobody on.
And if I'm Kat Sandercock with the drop ball that she has, I'm going down and in to Skylar Wallace. If she's struck out, it's always been on that pitch that's down and in. Plate coverage is good on the outer half, but it's more so, can she hold it on a pitch that isn't a strike? And you saw her do that on the last one. It's when you catch her off guard on the in where you'll get those big swings and misses.
See where she goes. 3-2. This is Florida State versus Florida. And the Gator will not give in. Skylar's from Woodstock, Georgia. Really made a name for herself at Florida the last 3 years, but started with 2 seasons at Alabama. A 383 career average in college, hit 51 career home runs. And draws a walk. Really nice at bat right there. She's reached 2 out of 3 times at the plate. Skylar back into 11th place. Actually, scratch that. She just went into the top 10. She just jumped over Lexi Kilfoyle in the 10th spot on the leaderboard. Seen Skylar as a captain once this season in week 2. Bubba Nichols swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Bubba's 4th year out of Merced, California. Off the end of the bat, Stuart Hunter on the move, and she's going to tag out Bubba Nichols in the baseline. A 2-out walk, but that's all. Kat Sandercock and company will just need 3 outs in the 7th to end this. Two really good contests today, and Team Lorenz trying to cap off another shutout. They have outscored their two opponents this weekend 7-0. They are just 3 outs away from another one. They'll get to come to the plate first. See if they can add a couple more. Delaney Wiz has been a big part of it this weekend for them. She drove in the 3rd run with a ground out back in the 5th. This is Kelsey Stewart-Hunter now at the plate. You got the chance earlier to meet her 2 little boys, actually.
Oh, so cute. Met them before we ventured over here pregame.
One from Sarah Willis, who stays out there for her 6th inning of work right now. Gave up 2 in the 5th. Throwing really well, though, just giving up the 5 hits to Team Lorenz. Upstairs, 3-1. Laid off the changeup that does drop in on the outside corner for a strike. Ground ball, and did that hit Kelsey Stewart-Hunter? Is that back-to-back innings? They're talking about it right now, and I think the at-bat will continue here.
Yeah, got her.
Couldn't tell. Originally, maybe it hit her in the box, but I thought maybe it stayed on her a little bit. She's going to get to stay in the batter's box. We about had that back-to-back innings, which would have been unheard of. Three-two. That was hard and in on the hand. Stewart-Hunter stays alive. Kelsey, the 2015 SEC Player of the Year. She's been doing this a long time at the highest of levels. There's that change up, and that's a walk for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter to lead off the 6th inning. Well, if you want to see how these teams get drafted, tune in this Monday at 1 Eastern for the final draft of this championship season. Savannah Collins and Kat Osterman, the hosts. More details at AU Pro Sports on socials. And that's kind of the last draft of the modern Athletes Unlimited model. Things are changing next year. The launching of the traditional softball league, the AUSL. This season we are currently in will become the Champions Cup. And I'm sure more changes that we'll hear about as the year goes on. Still a lot to be sorted out. Top of the leaderboard, Lorenz, Palacios, Vidalis, Faremo. And we do have a pitching change for Sarah Willis entering the game now. Peyton St. George, 5'10", 3rd year out of Duke from Mechanicsville, Virginia. She was the first commit in Duke softball history.
Not too happy there, huh?
Ooh, she gets her first action of the weekend right here.
You want to know something about this league? If you're not a captain, you don't get to make the decisions when you come in and out. So when it comes to that, whether or not Lexi Kilfoyle expresses to the facilitator, Caroline Hardy, hey, these are the decisions we're going to make, where Caroline may have a little bit more of a say than some, because we've seen pitchers make that, right? Kat used to do that when she pitched. She'd give a little bit more leeway to the facilitators. Obviously, Lexi's in the dugout, but at the end of the day, someone decides that you're coming out, you're coming out.
And it is St. George coming in. Maybe Lexi Kilfoyle to start tomorrow for the captain. Did not see her start game 1 of this week, and saw her in relief last night. Was solid in relief. See if maybe tomorrow's the day that we see the star out of Oklahoma State get the start in the circle. Good performance from Sarah Willis overall, though, in her first start. Willis is one of those talented two-way pitchers, too. We didn't see her produce offensively today, but at AUX showed off what she can do at the pro level with the bat as well. Nadia Taylor is also in the game defensively over at first base, replacing Allie Skaggs. Peyton St. George, talking about her being the first commit in Duke softball history. Coach K hand wrote her a letter that she has framed now, hanging in her apartment. She helped that program blossom into what it is now, which was a Women's College World Series participant this year for the first time ever. And they had to go on the road in Supers to Columbia. That was one of kind of the hot topics after all the seeding came out. Duke was one of those teams that was like, man, felt like they should have been higher, but they still got the job done.
Yeah, you had them.
I had the Tigers.
You had the Tigers.
Who they had to go beat.
That's right.
Which was still, I mean, the atmosphere in Columbia, for them to go there and win that was really impressive. Harshman now walks, so back-to-back walks here in the 6th. Let's go down to Savannah with more on Peyton St. George.
Yeah, talking to her about knowing that she was going to be, who was called on to be in relief today. She says the key for her in these type of situations is to stay ready so you don't ever have to really get ready. But she does think about how when you're coming into these type situations, you can maybe feel some pressure to have to rise to the occasion because your team's behind. You got to hold it down or you got to hold on to the lead. So for her, when she knows there's going to be a game where she's coming in relief, she might scout a little bit, but there's nothing in the way that she wants to change about the way that she throws with conviction. And the biggest part is keeping a neutral mindset. Just got to do what I got to do here and let my offense and my team take care of the rest while I take care of my job in the circle.
I like it. Just keeping it short and simple. Can't really change the mindset up too much from what made you tick when you were a college player, for sure.
Peyton St. George is another one who plenty of hobbies outside of softball. She says she's an above-average pickleball player. You play pickleball?
I do. I'm
like
above average.
Yeah, I thought so. You're probably pretty intense too,
well,
right? Is you and your husband?
Yeah, we play. But I'm not someone that likes to just sit up in the kitchen and hit it as hard as you can at each other. I like the workout piece, so I prefer to play one-on-one.
Okay, I like that though.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of the one-on-one workout.
Yeah.
I need cardio that doesn't make me think I'm working out. And playing a game or a sport is that. I'm with you. Wensvekis 1-2 just tips that one off into foul territory. Svekis, one who's been doing it a long time. Catching Alicia Ocasio today behind the plate. I mentioned earlier, Ocasio, Jordan Roberts, and Svekis all played together when they were in high school. Not on their high school team, but at that age. Gwen in her 5th season. She's from Davie, Florida, but went all the way up to Oregon to play her college ball. National Catcher of the Year in 2018. Got fooled by that off speed by St. George. One out.
It's a really pretty pitch by Peyton St. George. Takes something off it, but it's the downward bite. Makes it such a tough pitch, dropping off the table, completely fooling Wensvekis.
That is a major swing from Pian Castelli on strike one. She has a twin sister. And her teammate in Japan Don't have a set number of foreigners in Japan, right? On the pro teams?
I'm not sure if it's changed. I know the innings have changed to where it's unlimited for the foreigners, but I think you're right. I still think that it's just 2 per team.
Her teammate is Kat Sandercock, so they're reunited this week on Team Lorenz. Here's Piancastelli deep to left center field. Long run off the base of the wall. 1 run scores, another one coming around, and Team Lorenz breaks this game open here in the 6th.
Just a matter of time here. You were seeing some daddy hacks by Erica Piancastelli, and she just splits the gap here in left center. Warning track all day.
72 miles per hour off the bat. Peyton St. George still with just 1 out. Piancastelli in scoring position for Vic Hayward. Takes that pitch for strike 1. Hayward lays down the bunt, first base side. Taylor off her back foot. There was just no way she was going to be able to make that play, whether she planned it or not. Bunt single for Victoria Hayward.
It's a good job, especially recognizing that Nadia Taylor is back. Taking a look at where the defense is, but as soon as that's down, you know there's no doubt about it. All of a sudden, it seems like this game has got out of reach, especially with how Sandercock threw last inning.
It's a good week for Nevada softball. We've talked about Victoria Hayward and Delaney Wiz on staff, but they're on the same team this week, so they can talk shop.
Yeah.
They were talking in practice, in game even, like, hey, I'm thinking, you see her at that tournament the other day? Let's go after her. Back to the top of the order, another chance for Amanda Lorenz, and with the win, Team Kilfoyle has the offensive firepower, but it's going to take a lot in the 7th. This win is almost in the books, so Amanda Lorenz, chance for her to just collect some stat points right here with this at bat. Hayward will take 2nd. Stolen bases are worth 10.
Well, when you're looking up at the board right now with Team Lorenz, obviously up 5, but all the rollover inning points, like, and then I think about Lexi Kilfoyle, who's the captain of this team, who hasn't earned any points whatsoever in a game like this, right? Like, you'd hope she would put herself in a position tomorrow to start a game and try to gain a little traction. But this could be the first time I feel like that I'm ever seeing this where back-to-back days as the captain, she hasn't started herself. And I'm not saying that Sarah Willis didn't throw good, because I think she did, but
this could get him just out number 2. Lorenz brings another run across. 3 in the inning. It is a 6-run lead for Team Lorenz. One of the bright spots in this game for Team Kilfoyle has been the defense of Skylar Wallace. The plays she's made specifically on balls in the air. Moving back into left center field.
thinking a little defensive MVP.
Yeah, definitely. There you go. Yeah.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah,
Just give me these ideas.
I'm still getting used to the defensive MVP, but I think so, and that'll help her on the leaderboard. They need a win tomorrow. More than anything, if you want to climb the leaderboard, you need to win, and Team Kilfoyle is going to need one desperately. They got 10 win points last night, took 1 inning, and then today you're in danger if you don't score in the top half of getting nothing. Inside, Romero lets that one go, dodges it a little bit. 2-2. Sydney crossed paths with Peyton St. George when she was on staff at Duke. Pops this up shallow center, and it's caught out there by Bubba Nichols. One more chance. Team Kilfoyle needs a monster 7th inning. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Team Palacios and Team Lorenz, the teams to beat this weekend so far. Potentially both can be 2-0 going into their matchup tomorrow to wrap up week 4 of the championship season. 6-0. Team Lorenz has taken all 60 possible win points, hoping to get 60 more here. The 10 for the 7th and the 50 for the win. Be sure to follow AU Pro Softball on your favorite social media platforms to stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, behind the scenes action, and more. Search at AU Pro Sports today. Crowd has enjoyed a beautiful day. A couple really good games too. That 6th inning helped Team Lorenz kind of put this out of reach to an extent, but we'll see. Team Kilfoyle, a team who had 14 hits last night. They have just 4 today. First pitch is a foul ball from Bailey Klingler. There's a new center fielder for Team Lorenz, Mackenzie Clark, out in center field, the rookie out of Clemson. She is a stud, especially defensively. Nice pitch from Sandercock to jump ahead of Klingler 0-2. Any doubt on MVP 1 for you in this one?
No, I don't think so.
Alicia Ocasio, I'm assuming?
Yep. She's thrown well. She really set the tone, I think.
Just foul down that third base line.
I think anytime you can continue to put zeros up on the board, man, it's just so hard to do. You don't see shutouts happen very often, I'll tell you that.
Well, I think Alicia Ocasio will be in 4th place. Her and Georgina Korick right now. Korick's in 5th, Ocasio's in 6th, but she'll jump her with the MVP points. They will both jump over Megan Faremo with the win points. I'm not sure, my math isn't quick enough. She might be able to even get to 3rd place ahead of Tori Vidalis, but I'm not certain on that. This is always like tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow. Tell you in an hour. Off the end of the bat, Flippin charging on the run. Nice play by Hannah Flippin.
Just making this look so easy. Throw on the run, on the money, velo behind it. So good.
Flippin wearing the mask after her injury earlier this summer with Team USA. Just really outstanding. She's here playing right now at the level she's playing at, and played with Team USA in Italy still. Kaylee Harding at the plate. Got to talk to her in the field earlier. She's a great contributor at AUX. 17 RBIs total was an AUX single season record. 9 of them in one game. Ahead of Sandercock, her former Florida State teammate, 3-0 now. How many times have these two faced each other?
I know you're ex-teammates are always the hardest to throw to because you're like, dang, they know me.
Who do you think you faced the most? Like it had to be a teammate, like, but which one you think you would have seen the most?
Megan Wiggins. Who wasn't a teammate. Shoot, you always put me on the spot and have to make me.
But you're good at this.
I don't know.
Who would you have played 3 or 4 years with at Washington, maybe ran into internationally or anything?
No, I mean Ashley Charters, but Jen Selling was my teammate, but.
Yeah, but you faced her in practice, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe I'd go Jen Selling. We had some pretty hardcore Team Canada training camps where I just let it rip when I'm not throwing BP and we're competing, I guess.
She's back at Washington now as an assistant coach. Yep. Off speed for a strike to Caroline Jacobson, who doubled her last time up. What pitch you throwing Sally? You need 1 strike on her. What are you throwing her?
First pitch, she never swings, so
okay, you
throw right down the heart of the plate. You don't got to worry about that.
She's listening, thinking, okay.
She's someone that's kind of tough because she can cover both sides really well. You got to be careful at what you're going to throw her depending on the count, what she's sitting, little things like that.
Jacobson fights off the 1-2. This save became a lot easier for Kat Sandercock after she got the 3 runs of support in the bottom of the 6th. It will be a single season Athletes Unlimited record, breaking the record set by Kat Sandercock last year with 3. She still has 4 more games to play. Could extend that record even further. It's just a 15-game season for each of these athletes. Off speed, popped up on the infield. Romero. 2 outs. What a matchup tomorrow. Team Lorenz and Team Palacios. Something's got to give. They've only given up 10 total points, right?
Yeah, and that's when you're looking at the leaderboard and the teams that both of these young ladies have been able to put out on the field and draft. It almost kind of feels like you're going to war up against that team because you're rallying for your captain and you want to do well. And I think it could potentially trickle into next weekend with those 2.
Amanda Lorenz on top of the leaderboard. Kat Sandercock trying to close the door. And has Nadia Taylor, who entered the game defensively, down 0-2 in the count. This would be Sandercock's 5th straight outing with 0 runs allowed. It'd be a 7-inning span of 0 runs. 0-2. Popped up on the infield. Romero again, and that's going to do it. Back-to-back shutouts for Team Lorenz here in week 4.
Well, and I just think that Captain Amanda Lorenz has done such a good job of managing her pitching staff. And they've shown up to play for her. And I think that really, like watching Lily pitch today, it looked like she was having fun, commanding the zone well. Right now, Amanda Lorenz is dangerous with the team that she drafted.
This team's got a swagger right now. They'll run into the other 2-0 team tomorrow, Team Palacios, as we cap off week 4 here in Rosemont. Still have to calculate some win points, and the MVPs still have to be voted on, so this will change a little bit. Alicia Ocasio is going to jump up from 6th place without a doubt. Will probably be in the top 4 when this gets calculated. The win points have not gone on either, so the gap between Lorenz and Palacios is also going to be larger, but this is a general idea of how things stand. The certainty is that Amanda Lorenz will be on top of the leaderboard come the final day of week 4 as she pushes on toward becoming the 5th ever Athletes Unlimited champion. See what a great day we had here on day 2 of week 4. We got a couple undefeated teams, a couple teams needing to win tomorrow. Team Kilfoyle and Team Faremo will face off, and Team Lorenz and Team Palacios. Thanks for joining us, everybody. For Danielle Laurie and Savannah Collins, Casey Carter, Aaron Angel, the whole crew, I'm Chucky Kempf. So long from Rosemont.